that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in. How is everybody doing today? It is Saturday, and that means it's time for the GTRC, the Gran Turismo Racing Community, and it is our GT4 Championship Series here today, and it is round 11 of 12. That's right, 11 of 12. We are 1 week away, well, 2 weeks away, essentially, when the next scheduled race is, from crowning our champions here in our Pro and Pro-Am divisions this season. So, getting really close to the end here, and qualifying is underway here right now. We're just a little bit late today because I was having a little bit of issues with the equipment. Nothing new. That's just the way life goes. So, it is a 1 hour endurance race here today at Brands Hatch, and the drivers are required to use the racing medium tire only, so there will be at some point a pit stop for tires and fuel throughout the race. It is 4 times tire and 3 times fuel, I do believe, here in the settings for the series today. And the qualifying is underway, so I think it's going to be about 7 laps of qualifying here today, but it is, again, at Brands Hatch here in the UK. So, track map provided by Special Operations Administrator Miss Devious, and as always, appreciate the amazing looking work that she does here for the GTRC and GT45 gaming communities. So, on the screen in front of us is a track map. This is the racetrack we are going to be trying to conquer here today. All right, so on the left-hand side of the screen of the track, a little above center is a blue dot with a white arrow pointing upwards. That is our start-finish line. From there, the drivers will take off. We'll head into turn 1 at the very top of the track map, left side. That is, wow, I am confused today. Confused. All right, there we go. Paddock Hill Bend, ladies and gentlemen. I knew that. I still couldn't think of it. From there, we head down a tiny little straightaway. We come under a little walk bridge, and then we head into turn 2, which is called Druids. It's a sharp 180-degree hairpin corner. It's an open corner, but sharp corner nonetheless. That takes us into turn 3, which is a left-hander. That is Graham Hill Bend. From there, you come up a nice little straightaway, which is called the Cooper Straight, and that takes us into Surtees. This is a very undulating, tough left-hand corner, and you're coming uphill, so the exit is blind. From there, you come up a very large straightaway. There's a little kink, and from there, you come into turn 5, which is Hawthorns. That is on, of course, the top right-hand side of the track of the screen on the track map in front of everybody. From there, we head down another little straightaway, the Derek Minter Straight, and that takes us into Westfield Bend. Now, it is just a little kink to the right, And then that takes us down Dingle Dell into Sheen Curve, which takes us into turn 8 Sterlings. And then from there, we got one more straightaway, which takes us under the Clearways Bridge and into Clark's Curve. And then from there, of course, it's a long run back to the start finish line here to complete a lap around the racetrack. Moving through, let's get down into what's happening here on the racetrack. So you can see we're on board with our current pole sitter right now. Our Pigham's here in first place and is at 130.779. As we go through the field here, second place driver Petrolhead. He's sitting there with a 131.020. BR Tap is in third place here with a 31.4. We've got Doug Bro with a 31.4 as well. And I think those two times are tied, are they not? 414, 454, 4/100, so a second gap between those two currently. We've got Bar 27 here in fifth place with a 31.6. Miss Devious here in sixth with a 31.7. We've got Hair Razor with a 31.7 as well. It's like splitting hairs here today. We've got Ash Motorsport here in 8th place. We've got Devlin in 9th. We have Jakey here in 10th place in a McLaren. We have Trone Kobe in 11th. Oh, and look at that. Our keyboard is not working again, chat. Well, we got to sort that out. So I got to put you down for a second. Just going to lose my audio for a minute. Don't panic. We just got to unplug and plug the keyboard back in. I'll be right back. Alright, we back. We got it all working here again. Gran Turismo, PD, please, for the love of God, would you guys fix the online servers already? As racers and as commentators, we're kind of tired of having to constantly recalibrate our wheels and having to fix stupid wheel glitches and constantly having to unplug and replug in controllers because nothing works. So, yeah, if you wouldn't mind, you know, that'd be fantastic. Alright, so we got Pigham's here. Looks like these guys are finished their laps as they're parking at the end of turn 1 here. That's exactly what we're seeing. We're just seeing some of the drivers pull off the track here. So we've got Pigham's in pole position. We've got Apex Jakey sitting in second place. Got Petrolhead just coming across the line. He's going to steal second place from Jakey there on that final lap around there as well. So Petrolhead going to move up into P2. We got Jakey in third. We got Miss Devious in fourth. We've got Bar 27 in 5th. We've got Tap in 6th. We've got Doug in 7th. We've got Hair Razor in 8th place. We've got Snozzer in 9th. And we've got Ash coming around here in 10th place. We've got Troen in 11th. We've got Devlin in 12th. We've got Puzzlement in 13th. And we've got Type R in 14th. Nice, fat, juicy grid here today. We love to see it. Mr. Nolander coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. My guy. We thinking of you, my brother. We thinking of you. Our thoughts are with you today, my guy. Richie coming in with the follow off stream there this morning as well. Welcome to the Winter Circle community. We do appreciate that extra support as well. So welcome in. I hope you're enjoying the race today. If you're sitting at home viewing, welcome everybody over on YouTube as well. Alright, so Brands Hatch. It's a tight, small little racetrack, as everybody sees there on the track map provided a little bit earlier there. It is a very small racetrack. It's a 2.45 mile racetrack or 3.95 kilometers. It has 9 left and right hand turns. It's a tarmac road surface. It is a real world circuit. It's raced on quite regularly still to this day by all sorts of different classes of cars. And it has an elevation change of 115 feet from the highest point of the racetrack to the lowest point of the racetrack. And you can see that very clearly defined in corners like Paddock Hill Bend, in corners like Surtees, and of course Clark's Curve. It really shows the undulation and the height difference in the racetrack. So it's going to be really interesting to see how our drivers decide to manage the racetrack today. It's an hour-long endurance race. It's a little bit of a tire eater, this racetrack. It's got a little bit of a sandpapery surface on it, and as those tires start to wear down, then the drivers are going to start having a hard time getting some of these corners at the pace that they're used to. They're going to have to start making adjustments, so we could see some drivers struggle a little bit here. And boy, oh boy, I got to say, those Apex boys sure are picking on that Rockefeller car right now. I don't know. I got to tell you. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Hello, Ghosts and Racers. Hi, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope your Saturday is going fantastic. We're here for a race, so the drivers are just chilling. We're going to be starting our race here shortly. It's going to be a 1 hour endurance race. Again, it is the racing medium tire that is required here today, and the only tire that the drivers can use on the racetrack. It is 4 times fuel, 3 times tire wear, so every time the drivers go around the racetrack, they'll be using 4 laps of fuel and 3 laps worth of tires. That is definitely going to play into the factor here today in the race. So there we go. The drivers lined up. We got 14 cars on track here today. This is a Pro-Am split race. So there is pros and Pro-Am division drivers here on the racetrack today. And they are driving for their own divisional points in one big giant race. So we got a little multi-class racing. Oh, we got a false start by a leader, Piggums there. And Piggums is going to drop down the field there with that false start. That's going to leave Petrolhead in the lead. Jakey in second, Tap in third, Bar in fourth, and Piggums still dropping down the field as he's got teammate Miss Devious right beside him. A little tap there from Hair Razors to get a little bottled up coming in Paddock Hill Bend for the first time there, but it looks like the pack survives. Here we go, coming into Druids now side by side is Bar 27 and Piggums, and Doug Barrow and Miss Devious side by side just in behind. Hair Razor side by side with Action Jackson as well. Ooh, we got some racing going on here. All right, so it is still Petrolhead in the lead, Jakey in second, and Tap in third, but Piggums here in fourth place holding strong. He's got Bar 27 right there in behind in fifth place as they come through. Searchies the first time. Doug Barrow and Miss Devious side by side. Doug Barrow eating all kinds of grass and curb right there. Should allow Miss Devious to get a bit of a run here on Doug on the inside. Hair Razor is going to tuck in behind and give him a little push here. So is Hair Razor going to try to push Doug through here and gain a position on Miss Devious as well? And then the rest of the pack just sitting in behind to see what's going to happen here. So, oh, Hair Razor goes wide. He's going to go off the track right there. And he's going to be just trying to get on track in the best position he can. So Hair Razor there just making a little mistake. Got into that grass and pulled right on in to the sand trap there. So Doug's in sixth. Miss Devious in seventh. We got Snozzer, a.k.a. Action Jackson, in eighth place. We've got Devlin in ninth place right there in the Ferrari. Just tucked in behind, we've got NSX driver Ash Motorsport here in the top 10. We've got Troll and Kobe here in 11th. Oh, we got Action Jackson off the track there. Ooh, and he's having a hard time gathering that car up there. We got Type R here now coming around in 12th place. We've got Brad's here in 13th with that beautiful looking Dodge Viper right there. We got Action Jackson here in 14th, and Hair Razor now settling in 15th position. So we do have a absolute full grid here today. That is beautiful to see. That's what we're talking about, chat. That's what we're talking about. All right, great battle right here. Jakey and Petrolhead side by side as we come into Druids here. And Jakey's got position right now as we're coming through. Ooh, a little bit of lag between the two drivers right there. And they're still side by side, so heading down around, I can't remember what this one's called. Heading around this corner, heading into Searchies are still side by side. And this is a battle for the race lead here. And Petrolhead's going to slot just in front of Jakey here for the time being. So that's Sylvia proving to be a worthy opponent here so far on the racetrack. Jakey sitting in second place in behind our current race leader, Petrolhead. And a good little battle right there between those two. We got Tap and the Mercedes in third. We got Piggums and the Supra in fourth. We got Bar 27 and another Sylvia in fifth place. We've got Doug Barrow in sixth in that Lexus. We got Miss Devious in that Toyota 86. We got Troll and Kobe in the BMW. We have Ash Motorsport in an NSX. We have Puzzlement in a Porsche Cayman. Type R in the Genesis. We've got the Devlin in Ferrari. We've got Brad's in Viper. We've got Hair Razor in Mustang. And we got Action Jackson in Aston Martin here. So a little bit of strategy coming here from the driver. Stefan coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. How you doing, brother? Go, Trone, go. Hey, we haven't seen Trone here in a few weeks, so it's nice to see him back on track. We know he's a quick driver too, so hopefully he's settled into this race. He's already making up positions here, but it is Petrolhead in the early lead. Jakey chasing here in second place. Tap very close behind in third. Piggums in fourth. So the top four drivers all very close together here still. And then there's a secondary little pack in behind with fifth, sixth, and seventh place drivers. Bar 27, Doug Barrow, and Miss Devious. From there, Troll and Kobe leads the next group of two, which is him and Ash Motorsport. and not a lot of separation between everybody. So everybody's starting to settle into this race now as we're on lap 3. The tires are starting to warm up. The cars are starting to come underneath of them here a little bit, and it is race on. We got Hair Razor and Brad's here. A little bit of pressure being put on the Brad's by Hair Razor here, and ooh, nice little exit there by that Viper. That's a sharp looking Viper too, you gotta say. All right, and we got Action Jackson here, and a little bit of a mistake made by Action Jackson there. He had a hard time gathering that car up, so he's a little bit in behind here, but there is a lot of racing left. We are only 4 minutes into a very long 1 hour endurance style race here today, so we're going to see the drivers settle down. We got Jakey now getting the job done here on Petrolhead. Let's see if we can catch when that happened. Oh, perfect. We've got just enough camera replay left here, so there we go, coming up into there's a Sheen curve, I think it is. Jakey gets the job done there, so great job there by Jakey to get the position and the lead from Petrolhead. So essentially now our third race leader of the day, since Pigham's Fall started on the race start. Lost that lead right before he even got to hit the gas pedal here today. And Pigham's now battling Petrolhead on the outside there, and he's going to grab a position as well. So Tap and Pigham's both taking advantage there. And Petrolhead quickly losing 3 positions from going from 1st to 4th place here. So that puts Tap and Pigham's now in 2nd and 3rd place, and Petrol is right there lurking in 4th place. So a good little battle here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place right now on the racetrack. We got Doug Barrow here in 5th place. He's got Miss Devious just in behind here in 6th. He's got Bar 27 now dropping a couple spots here as well down into 7th place, and that's allowing Trone and Ash to start to gain up on the back end of the Sylvia driver here as well. So healthy little battles happening all over the track. Puzzlement here in 10th place. We've got Type R in 11th. We've got Devlin in 12th. Hair Razor now in 13th. He's found his way around the Viper driver. We've got Brad's right there in a 14th position, and Snozzer here in 15th, and reeling these guys in a little bit. It was 13 seconds, now down to 10, so finding some pace. But Apex Jakey leading the way here, and very quickly opening up a healthy 1.7 second gap on the field here currently as he brings this McLaren around on lap 4. So we're just heading around the last couple of corners here. We're going to have a nice little beautiful left-hand corner coming up next here. And that takes us in, of course, to Clark's Curve from there, the final corner of the racetrack. And again, only 9 left and right-hand corners on this racetrack. So a very quick racetrack is, of course, Brands Hatch here. Alright, we got Jake coming around Clark's Curve right now as he comes across the start-finish line. Let's jump on board with our current race leader. So turn 1 here, Paddock Hill Bend. Stay way left. You want to clip that apex and hard on the gas. Use all that exit curb. And then you're going to stay on the left-hand side coming into Druids. Brake right underneath the bridge there. Get it dropped down for rotation. As soon as you got that late apex, right back on the gas. Again, using all that exit curb. From there, we're heading around into Graham Hill Bend. It's much of the same thing. You got to use all of this racetrack to maximize it. From there, we're head down a little straightaway and into turn 4 Surge C. So right at the curbing here, you're going to drop this thing down. You just want to roll it through, and as soon as you see that late apex, hammer back on the throttle. But careful, that undulation and a little bit of weight distribution in the car could spin you out, especially in those rear-wheel drive cars. From there, now we head down Pilgrim's Drop and into Hawthorne Hill. And that takes us into, of course, Hawthorne's. And here's just a sweeping corner. You just want to catch as much of it is, control your throttle. From there, that now takes us into Westfield Bend. And this is the first of the 2 or 3 little high-speed right-hand corners. Of course, now we're going through Dingle Dell right here. And that takes us into Sheen Curve, a very blind uphill corner right here. From there, that's going to take us into Sterling's. This is the second last corner of the racetrack, so turn 8 here, ladies and gentlemen. From there, you're going to move it over to the left-hand side. You're going to want to utilize as much of this racetrack, and that takes us into the final corner, Clark's Curve. You want to clip the apex and take the car out as wide as you can without, of course, going into that grass, and maximize the absolute rotation and undulation of the racetrack. And that's going to be a 1 minute 30.8 from our leader currently on the racetrack, Jakey. So a little onboard action here from our current race leader. Alright, let's keep going through our field. Let's see what's happening behind him. We got Pigham's now up into 2nd place. Doug Burrow's now up into 3rd place. Petrohead's still in 4th place. We've got Bar 27 now up into 5th place, and Miss Devious in 6th place. We got Tap down into 7th, so not sure what happened to Tap here, but dropping some spots. We've got Trone now sitting there still in 8th with Ash Motorsports still behind him in 9th place, and they're just chilling right now. They're just chilling in behind this group. and not really wearing their race cars out currently. We've got Puzzlement here in 10th place, and just in behind these drivers as well. We've got Type R here in 11th in that Genesis. We've got Hair Razor in 12th place, so he's found his way around the Ferrari driver, Devlin, now trying to work on catching up to Type R in the Hyundai. We've got Devlin here in 13th position. We've got Brad's in 14th position, and Snozzer here in 15th, and gaining time on that 14th place driver here still. So we got ourselves a race, that is for sure. But right now it is Apex Racing's Jakey, and he's got a comfortable 2.6 second gap here on the field at the moment. Piggums is chasing in behind with that Supra, though, in second place. We've got Doug Burrow, and he's being pressured here by Petrolhead. So Petrol with that Sylvia still applying pressure here to the podium drivers. And right now that third place driver is Doug Burrow as he comes around Clark's curve here. You can see Petrol gets a much tighter line there. He's going to gain on Doug Burrow a little bit, but Petrol is lagging a little bit as well here today. And we got a battle here. Miss Devious looking up the inside of bar 27 coming around Clark's curve, and that's going to take us side by side coming into Paddock Hill Bend. Miss Devious does have the position, and now Tap's going to try and take advantage of that inside line and try to sneak his way through there. A little bit of contact between the two drivers there. And Bar's just going to hold the position off here on Tap. So coming into Druids, we're side by side. Miss Devious is trying to get away from these two as they battle here, and Tap is trying to get the power down, but that Sylvia is up to the call. Oh, more contact between the two there as Bar slides out of the corner. And then we're heading into turn 3 here, and we're still side by side. Now Ash Motorsports getting involved in this fight as he's found his way around Tron Kobe here as well, and he has now got his nose in the mix, and Miss Devious doing everything she can to try and get away from these three drivers as they come out through Searchseas here. So Miss Devious in the clear at the moment, leaving bar 27 here, really working hard, trying to chase these guys and gals down here. So this is what bar 27's got to deal with. We're going to see Tap looking to get some clean air here just so we can get that turn in on the car. Maybe looking for a really good exit perhaps here is Petrol. But on board here with Petrolhead, now our 7th place, Tap's our 7th place driver, as he is still continuing that charge on bar 27 here currently. But, oh, wrong button. That's what we're looking for. And this is kind of what it looks like behind Tab. So each one of these drivers has a little bit going on here right now, and they're all having to worry about what's going on behind them. Bar going defensive into the corner here. And can Tap get a cutback here? No, Bar does a great job at defending any switchback move there and holds that line. So right now we got some good racing happening here in the mid-pack. The mid-pack always provides great battles, especially early in the race. And Ash taking a nice wide line coming into Paddock Hill Bend. He's looking for a big exit here to gain on these drivers. And, oh, Bar's got it all kinds of wrong. Ash making avoiding movement there. He does manage to get around bar 27, so Tap and Ash Motorsport managing to get around bar 27 there. But boy, oh boy, that was some tense moments as Bar got it a little bit wrong coming out of the corner there. We're coming around Paddock Hill Bend. He just gets a little outside that curb and gets into the dirt. And, boy, he does a great job at gathering that car up, let me tell you. And Ash Motorsport does an even better job at, of course, avoiding bar 27 while he was out of sorts there. So that was a great recognition by all those three drivers not to get into a bigger situation there. Bar 27 still in 8th place up in behind these drivers, so lost a little bit of time in a couple positions, but kept the car out of the wall, and that is the most important thing. Hair Razor's now gotten around Devlin here. He's up in 10th place. He's 5.6 seconds in behind Tron Kobe, so on the charge is Hair Razor. Devlin here in 11th with Puzzlement right in behind in 12th place, so a little bit of a mistake maybe made there, where just in amongst all that confusion up in front of these drivers might have bottled them up a little bit, some swapping of positions. We got Type R here in 13th, we got Brad's in 14th, and Action Jackson here in 15th position. So it is Jake leading the way here right now, but Rockefeller Racing's Piggums has absolutely closed back up on the back end of that McLaren here. That was a beautiful save, wasn't it, Stefan? That was a beauty. That was an absolutely gorgeous save right there by bar 27. Currently racing on controller right now is bar 27, so... Oh, we had a little bit of an incident on the track I just caught there. Okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense to me a little bit now. All right. All right, so 4/10 of a second is that gap from Jakey to Piggums here in second place. And as they come up Searchseas, this is a pretty interesting variation of cars too. Now with the balance of performance tuning, so the way ideally this is determined is the overall outright performance of each of these styles of cars is determined in a computer program. So the McLaren's outright performance will be will be documented. All that information put into a supercomputer, in a sense. The Supra, the BMWs, all the cars that are on track from all the different manufacturers, are all put into a computer, and then they're compared against each other, and then the supercomputer breaks down the overall performance of these cars, and that's how the balanced performance is kind of determined in real life. Anyways, I'm not sure how they determine it obviously in the game, but if it's based off real life, then that's how the balanced performance is determined, and that's why we can see such good close racing between, say, such a high performance sports road car like a McLaren and a Gazoo Racing Supra. Obviously, it's a hyper-tuned Supra, but definitely two different types of cars when you compare them on the road. The Supra obviously wouldn't have much of a chance of keeping up with a McLaren in a road street version stock kind of deal. But in, of course, group racing, that BOP, the balanced performance tuning, comes into play, and that's what allows these cars to be as equally matched as they can be. Of course, it still comes down to drivers behind the wheels of these cars at some point, but that's why we can see such good close racing between such different styles of cars. And the McLaren and the Supra are two completely different styles of race cars. You race them completely different around the racetrack, so to see them driving nose-to-tail battling here is always fun to see. We've got Petrolhead here. He's up at the third place. Has found his way around Doug Barrow. Doug Barrow's here in fourth with Miss Devious in tow in fifth. She's now got Tap and Ash Motorsport here in 6th and 7th, starting to close in on her as well as they come up through Searchseas here on lap 10. And, a little bit of a wide exit there, but he manages to keep it underneath of him. And the NSX is a good little car. This is one of these underrated cars here in the game right now, I think, is these Honda NSX cars. Tyrone Colby holding his own here in 8th place. A little bit of a gap to that front pack, 3.7 seconds, but if R27 can tuck up in behind and these drivers can be a little bit patient here, they can use each other to help each other catch that pack with a little bit of drafting work on these straightaways in between the corners here. So I guess we'll have to see what happens when they close up. If it's just going to be time to battle, or if we're going to see a little bit of work between competitors that are trying to gap more positions up ahead. We have Devlin here in 11th. He's closing back in on Hair Razor here. Type R's up at the 12th. Puzzleman's down 13th here. Brad's is in 14th. And Action Jackson is closing in 2.5 seconds now in behind Brad's here on the racetrack. So this is a series for multiple skills of drivers as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're interested in getting involved, of course, we are nearing the end of this championship season, but there will be a new, fresh set of championship seasons coming 2 or 3 weeks after these ones are all said and done. So lots of racing coming from the Gran Turismo racing community here, and it is Pigham's here in third. It is Petrol in fourth, and we got a nice little battle right here between Miss Devious and Doug Barrow now as we head into ground. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the two, and Tap's going to get involved here. We're going to go a 3-wide sandwich here now, heading into Searchseas, and this isn't going to end well for one driver, and looks like Doug made a mistake potentially there, backs out of that, so Tap gets ahead up into 4th place there. Miss Devious comes out in 5th place, so she doesn't lose or gain any positions there. Let's take a look at that again. Let's see what happens here. Whoop, that's not the right mark. See if we can see. Let's see if we can get another rundown of that here. There we go. Nope, we just missed it because I didn't mark it in time, so I apologize. Not going to get a second look at that little bit of a shifting of positions there between those 4 cars, but the battle for the lead is still Apex Jakey. He's got about 7/10 of a second on Pigham's here in the 2nd place. We've got Petrolhead in 3rd. He's got 10 seconds to those guys up in front right now. So the top 2 drivers are definitely comfortable up there, and the battle right now is really between those 2 currently. We've got Tap here in 4th place. We just seen that nice little swapping of positions there. 3 wide going into Searchseas. Miss Devious coming out, staying in 5th place. Doug dropping a couple positions, going down into 6th place. And he's got Ash Motorsport still up in his business here as well. That NSX definitely putting some pressure on the Lexus driver here right now. And I thought I was going to see maybe Ash go inside there in the Druids, but just playing a patient race here right now is Ash Motorsport. And realizing that we're only 17.5 minutes into this race and he can't win the race at the 17-minute mark, he's going to have to win the race at the checkered flag. So a little bit of strategy here. Just give me uno momento and I will let you know, my man. Give me uno second. Give you uno momento. comment out here. We're just going to post a link in the chat here. Alright, so in the Facebook chat there, Thomas, we posted a Discord invite. Just jump into that Discord server there, and after the race, the admin staff will take care of you, and they can get you in the loop on how you can find out more information about the upcoming season. Now, it is just in the planning process, so with that being said, of course, it's going to be about, like I said, about a month away or so yet before the series is dropped, but registration will be dropping within the next couple of weeks, of course, for the upcoming new championship series. There will be 2 series coming here, I believe, from the GTRC guys, and of course that'll all be posted up in their Discord server, which we're pinning in the YouTube channel for GTRC as well. There we go, fantastic. All right. Hey, we appreciate you. We're always love seeing the interest coming from the drivers. So a nice little battle here between Doug and Ash Motorsport. I haven't been paying attention, so I'm going to mark that point for the time being. And we're going to take, just keep our eye on this battle as it's happening here. And once it settles down, we'll go take a look at that battle that was happening between Doug Bro and Ash Motorsport while we're getting those Discord links out in the chat. So Doug Bro dropping into 7th place. We're settled down. Let's go take a look at what kind of brought that on. So side by side coming up into Surtees here. Doug has the inside track. Ash takes it on the outside. That's a dangerous spot to be. There's lots of marbles out there. Just a little bit of contact between the two, and then a little bit of recurring contact between the two at the bounce back, and looks like Ash is just going to edge him out there. So a little bit of Rubbins racing coming from these drivers here today, and it's made for some pretty good racing here so far. But it's Apex Jakey still in the lead, Pigum still in 2nd place, right there in the tow, just chilling. And again, just opening the gap up on the rest of the pack. 13 seconds to 3rd place driver Petrohead right now, who is in kind of a no man's land. He has nobody in front of him right now, and he's got the next clearest driver is Tap, who's 3.1 seconds in behind. We have Miss Devious here in 5th place, and she's got Ash Motorsport trying to chase her down here. That's a 1.8 second gap here currently. We have Troan Kobe now moving his way up into 7th place, and Troan Kobe is kind of the silent mover here in this race. He hasn't really been creating anything too drastic or exciting. He's just chilling. He's running his race here right now, and really being rewarded for it. He's all the way up into 7th place here right now, and he's just been chilling, man. He's just been doing his thing. Bar 27 here down into 8th place. We got Devlin up into 9th place. We got Type R in top 10 here. Puzzlement all up in his business here in that Porsche Cayman as they come up through Surtees there as well. So let's stick with this for a minute here and see if Puzzlement tries to get the job done on Type R. Type R is a very good defensive driver as well. It's very hard to get around this driver, so it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to stay defensive here, or if Puzzleman's just chilling and she's just using him to save some tires and fuel, use that slipstream to go around the racetrack here. Right now it seems like she's just content with just sitting in behind. Maybe the pace is fairly equal between the two drivers, but she's in a good position right now, of course, sitting in behind another driver. And again, a little bit of lag in the lobby here today, as we can see on the screen. Hairraiser here in 12th place. It looks like he's made a pit stop. Action Jackson here in 13th with Doug in 14th. He's just made a stop as well. We've got Brad's here in 15th position as well as he continues to roll on down the racetrack. So it is Petrolhead here in the lead now. So the drivers making pit stops here are race leaders. Pigums and Jakey have made a stop, so Petrolhead is going to take the lead back of this race. Tap is going to move up into 2nd. That's going to place Miss Devious in 3rd. That's going to put Ash in 4th. Miss Devious eating up a lot of grass there. That might affect this turn in here coming into Surtees. And you can see the car pushing really hard there. She's really fighting to keep that thing from sliding out on her, but she does a great job at managing the little bit of dirty tires she had there. Ash Motorsport in 4th. Troan now up into 5th. Pickums comes out into 6th place, so Pickums jumps Jakey in pit lane there, and he's going to come out just ahead of Devlin, and Jakey's going to come out just in behind Devlin, so putting a car in between them as well. Pickums coming out just in front of that Ferrari driver who still hasn't stopped yet this race. Type R is in 9th with Puzzlement now holding top 10 just in behind. Hairraisers here in 11th place. 12 seconds is that gap. Action Jackson here in 12th. Bar in 13th. Doug in 14th. And Brad's making his first pit stop of the race here, coming in for some tire and some petrol as well in that Dodge Viper. So it is petrol ahead, and at some point, when is petrol going to make a stop? You guys can see the same information I can see, so you guys can take a wild guess just like I do every race as well here behind the mic on what these drivers are going to do. Normally we hide that information from everybody, but we feel like showing it today, changing things up a little bit. Tap here in second place. We've got Miss Devious here in third place. Ash Motorsport in fourth. We've got Troan in fifth. We've got Pigums in sixth. We got Devlin going around Brad's there. So Brad's just letting these drivers through on Paddock Hill Bend. Difficult spot, but you see he just slowed it right down and just parked it on the apex there. So good job by Brad's. We got Jakey in 8th place. Type R is here in 9th. We got Puzzlement in 10th still, and still chilling right in behind Type R there. And then we have drivers that made pit stops: Hair Razor, Snozzer, Bar, Doug, Brad's, Jakey, and Pigums. So half the field looking like their 2-stop strategy, and half the field looking like they're on a 1-stop strategy. Madam Mel coming in with that like and that share. How are you doing, Mad Mel? The Queen is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Tap is 4.2 seconds in behind Petrol, so really just kind of maintaining that gap. It was about 3.7 seconds a little while ago, so not really losing, not really gaining, I guess, in a sense. Ash Motorsports found his way around Miss Devious here. He's now up into third place. Miss Devious is here in fourth. We got Troll and Kobe here in fifth with Pigums in sixth. We got Devlin in seventh. We got Jakey in eighth. We've got Type R in ninth. We've got Puzzlement in 10th. We've got Hair Razor in 11th. We've got Snozzer in 12th. We've got Bar in 13th. We've got Doug in 14th. And we got Brad's here. Ooh, with a pit lane penalty there, unfortunately for him. That's going to slow him down a little bit there as he comes across that penalty serving line. But you know what? That is all right. He is on track and still bringing that Dodge Viper around. We love to see the Dodge Viper on track. I'm good, thanks. Hope you're well. I am fantastic. I hope everybody is well today. It is Saturday. Of course, it's Father's Day weekend as well here, so happy Father's Day weekend to those of us in North America. I don't know if that's worldwide, but it is definitely Father's Day weekend here in North America. And of course that is tomorrow, so we'll be live with some racing action for all the dads out there twice tomorrow on 2 different platforms, so don't worry, dads. The top North American commentator is going to be here bringing some very high energy vibes tomorrow for all the dads out there that just want to settle in and watch a little racing action. Miss Devious here in 4th place. We've got Pigums in 5th place there in the Supra. We've got Tro and Kobe in 6th and Jakey in 7th. So they've found their way around Devlin, and now Pigums has managed to find himself another car in between him and Jakey right now. We've got Devlin in 8th place. We got Type R in 9th, and Puzzlement still just tucked right in behind him there in 10th place, and that came in Porsche. We've got Hair Razor here at 11th, 7.6 seconds is that gap. 12th place is Bar 27. He's got Doug chasing down here in 13th. We got Snozzer here in 14th. We got Brad's in 15th position. All right, so we're going to see Petrohead go around at least one more lap here before he's going to make that stop. And I really do think that these drivers are trying to stretch a one stop here out of the race. He needs to get to the 30-minute mark in order to be able to make that work. Much of the same from Ash Motorsport here, who's now in 2nd place with Tap making a pit stop. His fuel situation looks pretty good, actually, in that Honda, so he can definitely make a one-stop work here, it looks like. Miss Devious, much of the same thing here. She's got a decent amount of fuel load left in that car to get the next 3.5 minutes around the racetrack that she needs. We got Pigums here in 4th place. He's opted to make a 2-stop strategy here, it looks like, in this race, or it's just a very early one-stop. That leaves Jakey here in 5th place now. In behind Pigums, of course, some of the drivers making pit stops. Trone looked like Jakey just got around here. He's still tucked in behind. He's got Devlin chasing him down here in 7th place. So Ferrari gaining on the BMW here as well. That leaves Type R now up into 8th place with Puzzlement here in 9th place, still tucked right up in behind that Hyundai Genesis right now and just chilling. She's just moving and grooving right now in behind. We got Hair Razor in 10th, and he is closing the gap on those two drivers though. Bar 27 here in 11th. He's chasing down Hair Razor. We've got Tap comes out just in front of Snozzer and Doug. So Tap here in 12th. We've got Action Jackson here in 13th. We got Doug in 14th, and we got Brad's here in 15th position. So interesting stylings happening here on the race. We got, pro and pro-am drivers on the racetrack here today, too. Ooh, we got Petro coming in for a pit stop. Now, the lag makes it look like he crossed pit line there, but just because the lag made it look like that doesn't mean that's what happened. And he is a little shy of that 30-minute mark here as he comes around, so it's going to be Ash Motorsport taking the race lead now. Miss Devious coming around in second place, so Ash Motorsport, our fourth different race leader here today. Pigham's here in third place, so he's moving his way back up as these drivers pit in front. Jakey here in fourth place now with that driver making a pit stop. That puts Devlin up to fifth, Trowan up to sixth, Type R seventh, Puzzlement eighth. Let's see where Petrohead comes out here. Is he going to stay out ahead of Hair Razor, or is Hair Razor going to grab the position? Now this is tricky with hot lap traffic and pit lane traffic coming in. Obviously the cars coming out of pit lane are going to have to hold that tight inside line and allow the faster moving traffic to have the mid outside line for room, as they are going to be coming at pace as well. So you may even see some of the pit lane drivers come out and just slow right down to allow those drivers to get the right line. It's a very dangerous pit exit here at Brands Hatch. Can provide a little bit of complication if drivers are not aware of what the situation is as they're coming out of pit lane. Bar 27 here in 11th place. We've got Tap in 12th place after making his pit stop. We got Snozzer there in 13th, Doug in 14th, and Brad there in 15th position. But right now it is Ash Motorsport leading the way. Now we're going to be seeing our top two drivers making a pit stop here either this time or next time around. You can see Pigham's is right on the back end of teammate Miss Devious there in second and third place. So knowing that Miss Devious is going to have to make a pit stop here, Pigham's will probably just be patient, or Miss Devious may just let him go around here. Let's see what happens here. And it looks like Miss Devious is going to take it around one more time here as well. Pigham's just settled right in behind here. He's going to go up the inside. And side by side as we come through Druids, this is a battle for second and third position, and Pigham's is going to get the job done there on the inside. I believe that was more of a, take the position, just don't cost us any time kind of dealio from Miss Devious here. And that leaves Jakey here in fourth place. So I guess now the question is, do we see Miss Devious try to hold up that driver a little bit by defending, or is she just going to do much of the same thing, give that respect to that driver and just let him get around, knowing that she's probably making a pit stop in the next couple of laps here? It'll be interesting to see. Let's get through the field some more here. We got Type R and Puzzlement still very close together here. These two have been driving nose to tail for several laps here now around the middle part of this race. So good job to both these drivers. And it looks like they're maintaining a nice solid pace. Petrohead's in behind here in 7th. Hair Razor is right there in 8th place as well. He's just tucked right up in behind. Bar 27 starting to close in, bringing Tap along the way with them. Doug Burrow's just settled right in behind those drivers with Action Jackson now in 12th, so Doug's found his way around him. Devlin down into 13th, Patron in 14th, and Brad's in 15th position. So we should see, I believe, Ash and Miss Devious probably make that pit stop here now as well. We got Thomas coming in with that share on the stream as well. We appreciate that extra level of support, and that is the case. We have Ash coming in for a pit stop. Pigham's going to take the race lead back. Jakey also going to come back up into second place. So Ash in pit lane. Miss Devious coming into pit lane. Take a look here as these pit crew works on these race cars. See how quickly and efficiently these drivers are. Now the rule is they're not allowed to refuel these cars while they're changing the tires on these cars. So they have to do the tire change first. Once the tire is done and the car is back off the stands, then the fuel man can go ahead and put some fuel in that race car. So it's going to be Pigham's here in first place with Jakey in second. Petrohead's going to stake it in third. Hair Razor is now going to move up into fourth place. Bar 27 is going to move up into fifth. Ash still getting that fuel can in there. Doug's going to move up into 7th. Snozzer is going to move up into 8th. Ash Motorsports finally coming out here in 9th position. Miss Devious coming out right in behind here in 10th place. She's just going to slot in ahead of Brad's here, and Brad's just backing off a little bit there. She did the right thing there by holding that inside line, and a little bit of confusion there between the two drivers, but managed to hold it together, the two of them there, and heading into Druids. Miss Devious stays just ahead there in 10th position ahead of Brad's. Ooh, Brad's almost getting it wrong there in behind that Viper. A little bit of over throttle on that curb, and almost spun that Viper around. We got Devlin here in 11th. We got Trowan in 12th. Type R in 13th. Puzzlement in 14th, and Brad's there just keeping that car underneath of him there in 15th position. So it is a Rockefeller Racing Pigham's here leading the way now, a little under over halfway through this race. We have 27.5 minutes remaining, and I do believe we're going to see some pit stops still happening from some of our two-stop drivers here yet, but they could just be fooling us and be on an alternative strategy as well. Jakey here in second. We've got Petrol here in third position. Hair Razor's chasing right in behind here in fourth place. And that gap is a little under a second, so not quite in slipstream, but really close as that Mustang. So Bar 27 here in fifth place. We can see Tap just in behind in sixth. We got a little bit of separation right now from the pack, but any little mistake from any one of these drivers, and it is battle back on from the driver in behind. We got Action Jackson coming into pit lane. Ash Motorsport's going to move up into ninth position. That's going to put Miss Devious back up into ninth position as she goes through the start-finish line as well. Brads will get that lap on Action Jackson back as he comes around there as well. So it is Pigham's in the race lead. Jakey here in second. Is Petrolhead here in third with Hair Razor in fourth. We got Bar 27 here in fifth. We've got Tap in sixth. We've got Doug in seventh. We've got Ash in eighth position. We got Miss Devious in ninth with Devlin in 10th. We've got Trone in 11th. We've got Type R here in 12th. Puzzlement in 13th. Action Jackson getting some fuel in that car. And Brad's here in 15th position. He's just heading around Searchseas there. So as we're coming around, you can see Action Jackson's just coming out of pit lane ahead of Pigham's here. And I'm not sure what the caution flag was for there, but it was a very brief yellow flag, and it might have just been to warn the leader that there was a car coming out of pit lane, potentially. So coming around Druids is Pigham's. Jakey closing in is only 1.4 seconds in behind the race leader here right now. Petrolhead here in third place with that Sylvia doing a great job tracing and trying to track these guys down, but 28 seconds right now is that gap. We've got Hair Razor here in fourth position and doing pretty well for himself here as well. Alright, we're just checking. Gary coming in with the thumbs up on the stream. Bo coming in with a thumbs up on the stream as well. Welcome in, everybody. We're just taking a quick little peek at all the dashboards, making sure everything's still working right and tight. It does look like everything's working right and tight, so that's fantastic. We love to see it, chat. We love to see it. Alright. We have been having some technical issues with our equipment as of the last little while with the move and all the changes and all kinds of things happening here, but everything seems to be settling in now, so I think we got it all sorted out finally. So fantastic, we love it. That means we can bring all the racing action to everybody on a regular basis here again. Pardon me. It is Pigham's here in the lead as he's coming up in behind Action Jackson there. We got Jakey here in second place. We got Petrolhead in third with Hair Razor chasing in fourth. We got Bar 27 up into fifth. We've got Tap into sixth. Doug Burrow in seventh. We've got Ash in eighth. Miss Devious in ninth. We've got Devlin in 10th position. We've got Trone Kobe here in 11th. We got Type R in 12th. We've got Puzzlement still tucked right in behind Type R there in 13th. We got Snozzer in 14th, and Brad's here in 15th position. So Action Jackson just getting passed there by our race leader Pigham's. And Jakey now needs to navigate that car as well. But Jakey a little bit behind right now, 1.9 seconds. So lost a little bit of time to that Super there through the last couple sectors. And Pigham's is just rocking and rolling around the racetrack here right now, looking to bring home another P1 here today. Jakey has other ideas, though. He wants to reel Pigham's in and take that P1 away from Pigham's there, and of course put himself on the top of the podium here as well. So we'll see if he can catch up there. We got Petrolhead here in third place. We've got Hair Razor in fourth. We've got Bar 27 in fifth, with Tap starting to close in here in sixth. So these gaps are starting to close up a little bit by little bit as these drivers start to get their tires dialed back into their setups after their pit stops. We've got Doug Barrow here in 7th. We got Ash Motorsport in 8th with Miss Devious in 9th place. We've got Devlin in the Ferrari here in 10th. We've got Trone in 11th. We've got Type R in 12th. We've got Puzzlement in 13th. Snozzer in 14th. And you can see that McLaren's starting to close in on him a little bit here, so he eventually will need to give way to that driver. But he's a smart racer here, Action Jackson. You can see he's going to take it slow on the inside. He's just going to hit the brakes real quick there. He's going to let Jake get around, and he's going to continue on with his race. So absolutely top level blue flag driving from our slower cars here today. That's fantastic to see. And you know what? Lots of respect shown on the racetrack in this community all the time here, so we love to see that. Pigham's in the lead though, 2.1 seconds up the road right now. He is cruising. We've got Jakey chasing. Clean air between these two now, and this is Jake's opportunity to really make up some of that time and get close back in on the back end of that Supra. We got Petrolhead here in third place. His battle right now is with the cars in behind him. He's got a 30-second gap on the two drivers in front. He's not going to be able to go the rest of the distance here on what he has for fuel. He is going to have to stop again, so I think his battle here is for third place today unless something really drastic happens in this race. Hair Razor here, he's in fourth place. He's going to owe another stop yet, but he's got himself in a decent position here, I think, to still grab a pretty good race finish here. Some of these drivers are going to stop up ahead of him yet as well. We got Tap here in fifth place with Bar 27 chasing, so Tap has found his way around Bar 27. Bar 27 must have made a little mistake there, and now he's got Doug Barrow breathing down his neck as they head into Westfield Bend here, I believe this is. And, ooh, Bar getting a little bit wide. Doug taking a nice tight entry there, and that's going to close him up even more on that Sylvia. So Bar struggling just a little tiny bit right now on the racetrack, and that's allowing Doug Barrow to really close the gap up. So we may see a battle for position here between Bar 27 and Doug Barrow. And these two, they're no strangers of racing against each other either. So this will be a very good battle if it develops here. So let's stick with it just for a minute. Let's see if Doug presses on Bar here a little bit. Now we know Doug likes to make things happen, so as long as he has the comfortability within the car underneath of him, he will most certainly see what he can do here. Bar 27 is doing pretty good at managing just enough pace to not really give Doug a look either, so as long as he can keep these corners right and tight here moving forward, it's going to be hard for Doug to find a position around him. Now Sylvia does get really good corner capabilities here, so it's a very good racetrack, but you can see Doug really closing in on him there coming into Druids, and that's bringing Ash Motorsport into this fight a little bit here now too, as these drivers are starting to catch up to each other a little bit here. So it's going to be Piggums. Piggums is on a two-stop as well as Jake, so we're going to see our leaders pit one more time yet. Petrolhead again is going to have to do much of the same thing here, but he may not pit when the leaders pit. Hair Razor is going to have to pit again as well before the end of this race. With 20 minutes remaining, these drivers don't have the fuel on board to go the rest of the distance. Tap should be okay. Bar is iffy. He may need to pit again. Doug, we're going to see probably pit again here as well. Ash should be good to go the rest of the way. Miss Devious should be good to go the rest of the way. Devlin looks like he's good to go the rest of the way. Trowan looks like he's good to go the rest of the way. So does Type R. So does Puzzlement. Action Jackson's good to go. Brad's may need a splash and dash here before the end of this race. It's really hard to say. I'm not sure how that Viper is on fuel, so... but right now we do have our race leaders catching up to, I believe it's our 10th and 9th place drivers. Puzzlement and Type R just up ahead of them here now. So let's jump on board with our race leader here as he gathers up. Now, this could be a tricky situation because as blue flag cars, you're still entitled to your positional battle if you're in one at the time when the race leaders catch up to you. So you don't necessarily have to stop your battle for position, right? In this case, that's not what's happening right now. These two are just looking like they're quite equally paced drivers, and they're just chilling behind each other, not creating any issues and just keeping a nice consistent pace. So I think in this situation we're going to see both these drivers let the leaders through no problem, but if they were to start battling here, they do not need to give that battle up to let the leaders through. The leaders are either going to have to do one of two things: be very patient, or navigate their way around while those two cars are battling. So, and that's risky. That's risky as a race leader, isn't it? You don't want to put your car in that position if you really don't need to. That could be a dangerous situation. So Piggum's just opting now is the time to pit. We're got to pit soon anyway, so he just decided to use that time to not run into that exact situation we were just talking about. Go into pit lane, lose that 30 seconds time. Now you'd be 30 seconds away from those drivers. Hopefully you can come out in the pack in some clean air and you can just keep putting in your paces. So let's see here. We got Jakey and Piggums. Jakey's going to jump Piggums in pit lane this time, so a little reversal. And Jakey's going to grab about maybe 2.5 seconds on Piggums in pit lane. Take second place back over from Piggums as Petrolhead slots right into P1 just ahead of these two as they come out. So first, second, and third place nose to tail right now, but Petrolhead is most certainly going to have to make another pit stop yet. So Jakey and Piggums should be good to go to the end here now as well. But Petrolhead is still going to have to make a pit stop here, so unfortunate for him, he is going to have to give up that first place one more time here in this race, and it'll be to Jakey currently, but Pickham's just right there on his tail, and I think we're going to see a good fight between those two before the end of this race. That puts Tap up into 4th place, that puts Ash in 5th, Miss Devious here now up into 6th, Devlin in 7th, we've got Trone in 8th, we've got, Trone in 9th. Oh, something happened to Trone there. Oh my, a little bit of a problem there for Trone. As you can see, he ended up nose into the tire wall there. Let's see what happened here. Oh, he just went a little bit wide coming out of Paddock Hill Bend there, and oh, just a light little tap into the wall there from Trone. So that was unfortunate there for the BMW driver, but again, that's that huge downhill sloping undulating corner of Paddock Hill Bend. It can throw drivers off kilter like that, and that's just all that happened there. He just got a little bit wide, got in the sand, lost traction, and overall did a pretty good job of keeping the damage minimal to the front end of that BMW. So he's still on track racing, but now he's got Bar 27 here in 10th place, putting a little bit of pressure on him here. But Trone does have the inside line coming into Westfield here, but Bar 27's got the speed. He's just going to clear him before they even come into the corner. So Bar 27 is going to move up into 9th place. Trone Kobe's going to fall down into P10 there. So, oh, and Brad's got it a little bit wrong there, and he's going to go off track there as well. And oh boy, he went for a ride, and that was a pretty good recovery right there. Let's go take a look at that again. Just got a little bit of grass there. Boy, what a recovery right there. Just skims that wall. Just skims the race wall there. You see a little bit of paint work there, but overall keeps that thing together underneath him. Great save there by Brad. That definitely could have been a whole lot worse there for that Viper driver there, but great recovery right there shown by our 15th place driver. Apex Jakey here still in the lead with Pickham's chasing, and that gap is about a half a car length right now between those two drivers as they come around the racetrack. We've got Tap here in 3rd place, and he's got the gap down to 15 seconds. Ash Motorsport here in 4th. He's 5 seconds in behind Tap and 5 seconds clear of 5th place driver Miss Devious. Petrohead, after making his pit stop there, is going to come in 6th place, about 7.5 seconds in behind Miss Devious. That puts Devlin up into 7th place, and that Ferrari and tracking pretty well here today around this track. Hairraiser up into 8th place. We got Trone Kobe in 9th. Unfortunate incident there for Trone. That puts Doug now in 10th place. We've got Bar 27 here in 11th, and something must have happened to Bar. He's dropped a couple spots there. We've got Type R in 12th. We've got Puzzlement still tucked right in behind there in 13th place. We've got Snozzer here in 14th, and Brad's again with the incredible save. Ooh, getting it a little bit deep into Xerxes there and keeping that car underneath of him. And boy, this man is getting some car recovery practice today apparently around Brad's hatch here, and some incredible saves coming from our 15th place driver today. Little slide there from Jakey. Great job to gather it up there. That could have been a dangerous situation. That curb does get a little bit slick, and when you're already losing traction in that corner, it definitely makes it for a spicy exit there. Jakey just doing a great job of gathering up and on. Pigham's almost losing a Supra coming out of Xerxes there. Car got a little bit light when he put down on the power there, and that back end just giving him a little bit of trouble there, and boy oh boy, that was a couple of dicey moments for our race leaders there. Each of them in their own little moment there. We have BR Tap here, B8 Tap in 3rd place here, and 17 seconds. He's a lot of work ahead of him there if he wants to catch those two up front. He's more worried about this driver here, Ash Motorsport. 4.4 seconds is that gap now, so he's taken a second out of Tap. Miss Devious, much of the same thing. She's maintained the gap to Ash, so a second closer to the 3rd place driver as well in the Toyota 86 here. That leaves Petrohead here, who has had to race lead a couple times here in this race, down into 6th place, and 6.2 seconds, so closing in on Miss Devious is Petrohead here as well. Devlin in the Ferrari here, he is in 7th position and moving along nicely. We've got Hairraiser here in 8th place. We've got Trone in 9th. We've got Doug in 10th position. We have a Bar 27 here in 11th. We've got Type R in 12th. We've got Puzzlement here in 13th. Ooh, oh, and a big hit there by Action Jackson as he gets hard into the wall. And we're talking about that corner coming out of that turn 3, and that is prime example of what happens when you get it a little bit wrong on that curb, and that's all it was. He just got a little too heavy throttle there and hard into the tire wall there, completely spinning him around on the racetrack. And that was a hard hit there. That was unfortunate, but everything looks okay. He's got the car back on track. He's definitely suffering from some front end damage in that race car, but managing to get it back on the road and continue on going here. So battle for the lead here between Piggums and Jakey, and this is what we like to call a healthy battle here. Oops, sorry, chat. Not what I meant to do here. I'm having some issues with stuff staying in place. We are meaning to get to... is that the view right there? Alright, so sloppy camera work by the broadcaster here today. Fastest lap on the racetrack right now is Jakey with a 129.5. We got Piggums going up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend here. Can he get the job done? You can see Jake's doing a great job at holding it on the outside there. And no, Piggums cannot get it done. He's going to have to settle back in behind this McLaren driver here. Who did a great job at holding that position on the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. Now, they got a back marker up in front of them here too as they're navigating this battle on lap 32. There's still 11.5 minutes remaining, so it's not crucial yet, but that back marker could definitely play into this race a little bit. So it is nose to tail racing here from first to second places, Jakey and Piggums. Tap is still losing ground here. He's now 19.9 seconds in behind to the race leaders. So two race leaders are on some incredible pace here today. We have Ash Motorsport here in fourth place with that Honda, and he is closing in big time on Tap here. Miss Devious is 6.7 seconds in behind Ash Motorsport, and Petrolhead closing in quite quickly here in that Sylvia as well. Got Devlin here in 7th position. We've got Hairraiser in 8th. We've got Doug in 9th, and Bar 27 here in 10th. 11th place is Type R, with Puzzlement just in behind there in 12th place. Tron Kobe's coming in for a pit stop here. Snuzzer in 14th, and Brad's in 15th. So here we go. The race leaders are coming up to Brad's here. Jakey is going to get up the inside, coming around Clark's curve here, and we got Piggums moving up the inside. No, we got Tron Kobe coming out of pit lane. We got a blue flag car and two leaders trying to navigate all this at the same time. Boy, this could have been a nasty situation, but great job done by all these drivers here. Brad's doing a great job of letting these guys go by without giving up any of his race pace as well. So Brad's doing a fantastic job there, allowing the leaders go by and not giving up any of his own time as well, just placing his car in the right place to allow those leaders to slip on through. Brad's showing some incredible driving here today, and now Tron Kobe up in front of Jakey and Piggums here. So now they got to navigate this car as well, and that could have been a dangerous situation. You got a car coming out of pit lane, you got a blue flag car coming up to that car coming out of pit lane, and you got the first, second place battling coming up to all of that all at the same time at race pace. So that was a little bit crazy, but again, great job by this racing team, all these drivers and teams on track here today, just navigating this stuff super well. And Tron's going to get out of the way of Piggums there. You can see Jakey got around a little bit before that, and Tron's just getting out of the way of Piggums there. And now Piggums has got a little bit of work to do with 9 minutes remaining in this race. He's got to try and close Jakey back up here in first place to try and get another crack at the race win here. Tap's here in third place, and Ash Motorsports are really starting to close in here. He's starting to put the pressure on. He's starting to put the pedal down, and he is reeling that Mercedes in up in front of him. Miss Devious here, she is chilling. She's just doing her thing right now. She's just running her pace, but she does need to start worrying about this man right here. 2.2 seconds in behind is Petrolhead with just under 9 minutes remaining. There is time for him to try and grab that spot on Miss Devious, so we may see a good battle there. We've got Devlin here in 7th place, and Hairraiser, much of the same thing. He is closing in on that Ferrari driver. So as the timer's starting to tick down, these drivers are starting to feel the pressure of the timer, and they are starting to push a little bit extra here now to try and gain position. Doug here in 9th place with Bar in 10th. We've got Type R here in 11th with Puzzlement in 12th, Tron Kobe in 13th, Snuzzer in 14th, and Brad's getting that splash in 15th. I figured he was going to have to get a little bit of a splash here. I wasn't really sure if he had enough fuel to make the rest of the way. So with 8 minutes remaining, a couple of good battles really starting to develop here, and one of those battles, of course, is for the race lead here. So Piggums has closed up about 0.3 of a second on Jakey since they've navigated that blue flag traffic there, and it is just battle back on between these two. So McLaren definitely has a turning advantage here over the Supra, but the Supra has a horsepower advantage on the straight line over the McLaren. So it's quite interesting to watch to see which one of these two cars is going to win this battle here today. But boy, these two are battling, and don't think for a second that they're not. There is no nice playing here right now. They are just so equally paced drivers. It is just very hard to find their way around each other right now. So this is some healthy battling for the race lead right now with 7.5 minutes remaining. We're coming around to start lap 35 here, and Jakey's still holding it down here, but Pigham's putting all kinds of pressure on him. And these two drivers, they're no strangers to pressure. They know how to handle it. They can that driver in behind is not going to bother them at all. So this is a great battle right here on the racetrack. And as Pigham's going to take a look into Druids, it looked like he was going to take a peek. Jakey goes a little bit wide there. He's going to give Pigham's an opportunity to close up there, and Pigham's closes up right on the back door of that McLaren. So a little mistake made by Jakey, and not much of one. And boy, oh boy, it is a whole different fight here now. Pigham's way out in the dirt though. That's going to give him dirty tires coming into Surtees. He's going to have to consider that coming into the corner here. Jakey goes a little bit deep into Surtees. That's going to allow Pigham's to catch up, and oh boy, I think both these drivers are starting to feel the pressure a little bit here. They're pushing a little extra hard. They're a little overdriving their cars at the moment, and boy, oh boy, we got a fight. Let's go see what's happening here. Ash has just gotten around Tap. Ash is going to move up into third place there. Let's see if we can get a look at that real quick, and we're going to try and get back to that battle. Oh, we just missed the maneuver there, but Ash getting the job done. He's going to move himself up into third place. Miss Devious and Petrolhead here now very close together as Petrol gets it a little bit wrong. He manages to save it there, though. That was a great job by Petrol, and he is lagging a little bit, so that's making it a little bit tough to tell what's going on with that race car as well. Duggan, Barr closing in. Oh, Barr went to just go coast into the corner. They're making a little bit of contact, but he backs off there. Doesn't, not too much trouble there for Doug either. Just a little tiny slide by both those drivers, cost him just a tiny little bit of time. So, whoo, it is getting dicey. It is getting spicy, and it is race on in the last 6 minutes of the GTRC Round 11 GT4 Championship here. And again, we are at Brands Hatch in the UK, so one more round, and that is in 2 weeks' time, and we're crowning some champions here. But right now, this has been a great battle for the lead between these two drivers for a very large portion of the race here. You can see Tap is just in the distance there, or Ash Motorsport and Tap are just off in the distance there, but I think it's a little too late for those two, and these two are just battling here. So we're going to stick with this just for a minute here as we come into Surtees again on lap 36, and Jake has a 0.4 of a second lead on Pigham's here as we head uphill out of Surtees, and it's about the same. Let's go check out this battle here. Petrolhead has found his way around Miss Devious here, so Petrolhead has grabbed P5 from Miss Devious here, and let's see if Miss Devious is going to reel him back in and try and fight back for that position here. So really the big battle here right now, I think, is between first and second place. So I guess this is where we're chilling the rest of the race. Hey, chat, what do you think? I think so. Obviously, this is where the action is. Oh, and Jakey goes wide. It's going to be Pigham's to take the race lead back, but this isn't over. Jakey is going to send it. He is going to try and close back up to Pigham's, but it is 1 second gap with about 3 laps to go here. Jakey's got his work cut out for him, but that mistake finally made there, and Pigham's is going to find his way around Jake there. So oh, we just missed the replay there, but a crucial mistake made there coming through Westfield there. Just a little too much speed trying to go around the corner, and that McLaren just surfed it a little bit wide there, and the Supra just taking advantage of that opportunity, moving himself up into first place there. So that was a great battling between two very top-level drivers here as well. Ash in third place. He's opened up a gap here now on Tap. Tap is just looking for that position there. We've got Petrolhead here in 5th place. We've got Miss Devious in 6th. We've got Hair Razor in 7th. We've got Devlin in 8th. We've got Doug here in 9th position. We've got Bar 27 here in 10th place. We've got Type R here in 11th with Puzzlement in 12th. We got Tron in 13th. We've got Action Jackson here in 14th. And we've got Brad's here in 15th. So I'm not sure. A couple of the drivers are fairly new drivers to the series. They just recently qualified in, so I'm not actually sure what split they're in. But right now I believe it is Pro, Pro-Am, Pro-Am, Pro-Am in the top 8 right now, I think is how we're sitting, but don't quote me on that. I don't actually know for sure. Alright, so this is now starting to close back up again here. It was 1.4, now it's 7/10. This is not over. I think we're going to see a fight at the line between Piggums and Jake here, with 2 more laps to go as they come around here. We got a driver off track there. Not sure who that was, as we just didn't quite see the car, but no harm, no foul there for our race leaders. And as Piggum's coming around Paddock Hill Bend for the second last time here today, and he has a McLaren all up in his business. Literally half a car length in behind as we come through Druids here, and pressure back on and fight back on between our race leaders here. Boy, this has been a great battle between these two all race long. A little bit of strategic driving, a little bit of patient driving, but overall some healthy top tier battling between these two drivers here right now. And Piggums is holding strong coming into Search. He's a little bit wide. Jakey gets a little bit of a tighter entry there. That might give him a better exit here. And Piggums is just defending all those lines right now, making sure that Jakey does not have an easy opportunity to get a nose in. Piggums just semi-defensive here. He hasn't quite decided yet. He's going to stay defensive here. He's not letting Jake get up the inside here. Westfield and side-by-side coming through Westfield Bend. And oh, Jakey almost goes wide. We're rubbing tires, and here we go. Here we go in this battle on side-by-side for the leaders. Here we go. Piggums is just holding strong. And oh no, Piggums gets it wrong. He gets a little slide, and Jakey's going to take the lead back. And it is 1 minute 45 seconds left of this race, and Jakey's going to get the race lead back here from Piggums. So all this hard pushing and battling, a little mistake made there by the super driver under throttle, and he's going to give that race lead back up to Jakey. So now he's got to try and reel Jakey back in. And boy, what a battle that has been up front. We got Bar 27 and Doug Burrow still fighting for position here for 9th and 10th place. Ooh, Bar gets it a little bit wrong coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. That's going to give Bar a look up the inside there, and oh, he just can't quite get it done. But it is Apex Jakey here. He's 1.8 seconds up the road from Piggums, and on the final lap here, can Piggums make something happen? Oh, and Jakey makes a mistake coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. That's going to allow Piggums to close back up. That went from 1.9 down to 1.5 with just that one little mistake. So these drivers are absolutely hard pushing it here right now. Jakey just trying not to let Piggums get into battling distance here. A little wiggle from both those guys. You can see how hard these drivers are pushing right now to try and catch back up to each other. Both these drivers want this win here today, and it has shown in some absolutely healthy battling. We got Vic coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. How you doing, Vic? But Jakey might have bettered out Piggums here on this one. We've only got a few corners remaining in this race. If Piggums is going to make something happen, he has to do it, and he has to do it very soon. So here we go, coming around Westfield. It is Piggums 1 second behind Jakey here in that Supra. And boy, what a great battle we've seen from these two drivers all race long. Can Piggums get it done? He is closing the gap, but he's running out of corners. And with 2 corners remaining here, it is going to be very difficult now for Piggums to close Jakey up. Let's see what happens here as we coming in. He's closing it up. We got a lap car up in front. Oh boy, here we go. Piggums right in behind Jakey. He's got 1 corner. Clark's Curve. Can he make something happen here through Clark's Curve? As the pressure is on and our race leader's coming through, it is going to be Jakey just edging out Piggums here at the end. He's going to use that drop to that back blue flag car, and he's just going to hold the Super off. So it's going to be a first place to Apex Jakey. It's going to be a second place to Rockefeller Racing's Piggums, and it's going to be a third place to new driver Ash Motorsport. Now, he's not that new, obviously, but new into the series here. So it is looking like it's going to be a P3 finish here for Ash Motorsport today and that Honda NSX. So that was a good run by Ash here today, and congratulations to him as he comes around. So flashing the headlights, he's pretty happy about that. Going to be tapped with a 4th place finish here as well as he comes around, and he's followed very closely in behind by Petrolhead here in 5th place. Mischievous is going to bring it home here in 6th place as well. We've got Hair Razor coming around. He's going to bring that Mustang home in P7, and that's a pretty good finish here for that Mustang around this tough racetrack, so I'm sure he'll be pretty happy about that result here today. Mustang's been a tough car in this series here, this championship. We got Bar 27 and Doug Burrow fighting. Bar has found his way around Doug, so this is the final battle here for 8th and 9th place, and it looks like the rest of our drivers have already came across the start-finish line here to finish up their races. Congratulations to Pegas, new driver from Rockefeller. Yeah, it was a great race between him and Apex Jakey there, and boy, that was some class act driving by those two guys right there. That was some fantastic fighting. Bar in 8th. It's going to be Doug in 9th. It's going to be Devlin for the Ferrari here in 10th place. It's going to be Type R finishing in 11th. It'll be Tyrone Colby rounding out the field there in 12th place. And we'll get to the other 3 drivers in just a second, but it is Apex Jakey with the race win here. So let's go take a little peeksies Unofficially, it is Apex Jakey with the win and fastest lap on the racetrack. Very close behind was Rockefeller Racing Pigums in second place. Ash Motorsport for Honda NSX here coming in third. Tap in fourth place. Pro-Am driver. Petrolhead there in fifth in that Sylvia touring car. Miss Devious coming around in sixth place from Rockefeller Racing in that Toyota 86. Hair Razor coming around in seventh. We've got Apex Racing's bar in eighth place. Doug Barrow comes out in 9th place. Devlin in 10th position. We have Type R in 11th. Tyrone Colby from THG in 12th position. We've got Puzzlement in 13th and Action Jackson in 14th. And TMB Brad's rounding out our field there in 15th position. 15 drivers started today. 15 drivers finished today. That's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautiful. All right, but a big congratulations to Jakey. That was an incredible race. That was a great battle right there. Great to finish for Miss Devious as well, says team captain Mr. Vic. We appreciate you, my guy. So we're gonna flip you back over to this screen because I don't have. Yeah, sounds good, piggies. Appreciate you, my dude. I don't know if we're gonna do podium interviews today. I'm having an issue with my Discord and the stream lately, so let's see if we can get in here. My computer just doesn't like certain things sometimes. See, I'm still having some issues with the stream. Things don't quite want to work properly yet, but we'll leave you with the intro video here, and then we'll talk about our race. Multiple screens of racing happening all at the same time. That's what we love. Right, so round 11 of 12 rounds in the books for the GT4 Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Because I don't know exactly what driver is in what division at this point here in the season currently at the moment, because we've had some new drivers pop in, we're just not going to run interviews because I don't know who my Pro-Ams and pro drivers really are. Two of our pro drivers have another race to get to. So we're just going to skip the interviews here this week, but we will break down the race. And I mean, at Brands Hatch, we all know it's a very tight technical racetrack, typically designed for slower class cars, Group 4 cars, radicals, sports club racing cars. Every once in a while, you see the big boys come out. The GT3 cars obviously run. You see, I think LMPs run here. Super Formula used to run here. I don't know if they still run here. But it's a very small racetrack. I mean, it's only a minute 20 lap time around here. It's only got 9 left and right hand turns, but it is definitely a famous racetrack in the UK. So it always provides for interesting racing. You have to be 110% focused at every second around this racetrack, because just one tiny little lapse of judgment or focus, and really that could cost you a big mistake, cost you a race. It was pretty good racing here. We had a great clean race start here from all the drivers. We had great healthy battles throughout the whole race. That mid-pack battle was absolutely intense in the early parts of the race through about the mid part, and then we just had that great battle for first and second place between Pigums and Jakey, basically the last half of the race, and switching that position around first and second place there a few times, and just an absolutely crazy last 6-minute battle around the racetrack. But Jakey coming out on top this week and taking home some pretty important points as he's trying to chase Pigums down in the championship here. So Pigums is leading the way here in the pro division, and with one race to go, looking real strong to bring home a GTRC championship here in the GT4 series this season. So Jakey definitely doing everything he can though to put a stop to that here, and a great run by both both those drivers, and not to take away from new driver Ash Motorsport and that Honda NSX coming in. And we did say earlier in the broadcast, we really feel like that NSX is an underrated car by a lot of the drivers currently in the game. I think it's actually quite a good car, and Ash Motorsport proved it today that that car has some pace around these technical racetracks. So well done to Ash Motorsport for a great P3 finish here today overall. Now, what that means for his division, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure what division he's placed in, but it was some great racing out there. And I mean, top to bottom, we've got drivers from pro level right down into AM status even, and they all come out here and race. So this league again is for all skill levels. There's a Discord invite in the Facebook page and GTRC YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about the GTRC and the Gran Turismo racing community, just hit that link and jump into the Discord server, and just let the admins know that you want to know more about the championship racing events that are provided by the Gran Turismo racing community. One of the admin staffs will get with you, and of course we'll walk you through the process. But that was some great racing. This is a sponsored event as well. It is sponsored by GT45 Gaming and Apex Sim Racing Group as well. So a special shout out, of course, to the sponsors coming in, providing a little extra incentive for the drivers here this season. Great race here today for round 11, and can't wait to see finale here in a couple of weeks and finally crown these champions. It's been a long season. It's been a big grind. The cars are wore out. They're tired, and I'm sure the drivers are ready for a little bit of a break here. But congratulations to all 15 drivers on the track today. Made for an absolutely great race. And with any luck, next weekend we'll have our Pro and Pro-Am proper splits racing on their own individual races next week. Would be fantastic. And of course we'll have Nolander Gaming come back and take on that Pro-Am finale as well. So fingers crossed that we see a good field of drivers for our finale night here in a couple weeks time. But it is finale for Radical Super Cup next weekend here at the GTRC as well. So round 6 of our GTRC Radical Super Cup will be finishing up here as well next weekend. So 2 weekends of championship racing coming next from the GTRC. Huge shout out to the Gran Turismo racing community, the admin staff, the stewarding staff, the drivers, and the community behind the scenes is really what keeps these things going and makes this work. So without all that, of course, we wouldn't have much to be presenting to everybody at home. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. We'll be back live a little bit later for some GT45 Gaming content, as it is manufacturer round 4. So we're going to get busy with it and see if we can capitalize on some more good points here for ourselves in the World Series online qualifiers. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Most importantly, stay winning, and remember, you all matter. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this month, and this is a men's mental health check-in for all the men out there in the community. We really do hope that you're doing well for real, and if you're not, my door is always open. Please reach out. We'll talk. We'll help you sort out, if we can, what's going on. I can honestly say for myself that for the first time in several months, I'm vibing. We're chilling. We're genuinely good on the mental health side of things here. So you just got to keep your head forward. You always got to surround yourself with supportive people, and you'll come out of it. So please feel free to reach out. Our doors are always open here at GT45 Gaming, and remember, you all matter. That's the most important thing. Goodbye for now, but not forever. We'll see you all again very soon.